In the last module, we had discussed about clearly about what are the microorganisms, types of microorganisms, and we had discussed what are the uses of microorganisms. But there are harmful there is a presence of microorganisms which are harmful to us also. Let us talk about it here. We are going to study in this module about how the disease causing microorganisms in human beings, how the disease are caused due to the microorganisms in animals and as well as in humans, disease causing in plant microorganisms in plants also. We are going to learn it detail, that is how the microorganisms can cause the diseases in human, animals as well as in plants. So generally first we'll talk about human disease causing microorganisms. What do we call for those microorganisms which causes disease to the human beings? They are called pathogens. Okay, how they cause it, the microorganisms, what they will be doing. The pathogens enters our body through the air we breathe and the water we drink or the food we eat. They can also be transmitted by direct contact with an infected persons also, or carried by an animals. So what are pathogen, children? Those microorganisms which causes diseases to the humans are called pathogens. Now we will be talking about what are communicable diseases. See here, children, they can be spread. Microorganisms, microbial diseases can be spread from one infected person to an healthy person through what? Through air or water or food or by a physical contact is known as communicable diseases. Example like common cold, chicken pox, cholera and tuberculosis. These are the communicable diseases. What does it mean by, children? Communicable diseases nothing but which can be transmitted through air, water, food as well as through an physical contact. First we'll talk about through an direct contact with like for example, has you seen that through a direct contact with a sick person, as in the case of ringworm. You can see here there is a presence of ringworm, so or chicken pox. These are the commonly which can be spread through an contacts only. Even through air also known as droplet infections, there is a possibility of transferring the infections through an air. We call it as droplet infection. As in the common cold and flu, when a sick person sneezes or cough, what will happen? Microbes are released into the air. This can infect a healthy person breathing this air. This can be taken by an healthy person. The healthy person, when inhale it, it may affect to an healthy person also. How it is transferring? Either might be through an air or by an direct contact. Now children, rather than that, we know that there is a possibility of spreading of diseases by through contaminated water and foods, which causes like cholera and typhoid. The parasites that cause amoebic dysentery enters the water when an infected person passes the feces near a water body. Other people get infected when they use the water from such sources. For example, you are using the feces, when you go for the pot, what will happen? The fecal matter which is present near to the area is being eaten by the mosquitoes, which can be transmitted through the water, air, through the mosquitoes, and it may spread these microorganisms on the food materials. So in unknowingly, knowingly, you may eat that food materials. What will happen? It may spread. For example, through insects such as flies, mosquitoes, which are carriers of the microbes. These are the main carriers for the microorganisms. When a mosquito bite, what will happen? An infected humans, it carries a microbes with it and transfers them to an healthy person afterwards. Female Anopheles mosquito will carry the parasite of malaria, Plasmodium vivax. We said it out. Okay, this act as a carrier of dengue viruses also. Okay, so these are one of the example for transferring the diseases like through the insects also. We can clearly come to know about it. Now children, if you talk about here, all mosquito breed in water. What we have to do, how to control this growth of microorganisms means, we know that they will breed in where? In the open water areas. So we have to try to clean the water which is collected everywhere, and you have to keep it in coolers and everywhere cleans, and flower pots, tires and everything. By keeping surrounding and cleans dry, and we can prevent the growth of mosquitoes and breeding them. Okay, we can prevent it. So let us talk about what are the microorganisms, how they are causing here. As you can see, what you have to do, generally there are different types of microorganisms like tuberculosis and measles, chickenpox, right, polio, cholera, typhoid and hepatitis, as well as malaria. This can be transferred by different types of microorganisms, and the transmission of mode you can see in the video in the picture over here. One of the microorganisms is known as anthrax. Anthrax is an infection caused by a bacterium called Bacillus anthracis. It can occur in 4 forms, like skins, lungs, intestinal, and even in the injections also. So the symptoms occurs between 1 day to over 2 months after this. So what are the plant diseases like citrus canker, rust of wheat, yellow vein or mosaic of bhendi? These are the different types of diseases caused in the plants also. What are the microorganisms here? They are bacteria, fungi and virus. How they will be transferring here? In case of citrus, it is by air, rust of wheat is by the air or seeds, and whereas in the case of yellow vein, mosaic of bhendi is by insects. So we come to know that not only in the human beings the microorganisms can be transmitted through in the plants also. Now children, we'll be talking about the food poisoning, how it happens. Due to what is my food poisoning, generally you'll go for the hospital. Generally sometimes doctor may say you there is a food poison. How it happens? Due to the consumption of food spoiled by someone, means some microorganisms. So the food which has been spoiled by some microorganisms which have been eaten, so that microorganisms can grow on the food, sometimes produces these toxic substances. This makes the food poisonous, causing very serious, even leads to death also. So we have to maintain ourselves and eat hygienic foods only children, because this may affect to your health and it may lead to death. How to prevent the food poisoning? So wash hand with the soap and water before, during and after preparing the food, eating the food or preparing the food, and separate the raw materials and eggs, seafoods and poultry from other foods in the fridge. You have to separate it and keep it properly. Use a soap and hot water to wash the knives and utensils, cutting boards as well as counter. Rinse produce. You have to separate the cooking utensils and plates for raw meat, poultry and seafoods. You need to follow all the preventive methods to prevent it from the food poisons. These are the steps to be taken to control the food poisons. Got it clear children? You should have to wash it clearly, the foods which you are bringing, and you have to boil it properly and everything. Now let us learn about different types of spoilage of foods. You can see here there is a spoiling of food, of milk and fruits and vegetables. There are spoilage, as well as sometimes consuming of soil can lead to serious food poisoning, right? As we said, these are the spoilage foods. Some in case of timed and sealed food also. Special bacterium cause serious food poisoning, namely botulism. Botulism is when you seize it out and it may develop. Consuming of such food is avoided and should be discarded. In order to avoid such type of food poisoning, necessary steps to be taken followed, such as preservation of food and making it from disease germ free food items. So you have to preserve it properly and you have to save it out. What are the methods to be followed for preserving? Boiling or heating at high temperature. First step is that you have to boil it, and salting, you have to add a salt in order to make the free from microorganisms. Dehydration means in order to grow the microorganisms, the food should be moist. But if you are dehydrating, irradiation, these are the steps to be taken place. And you have to do the pasteurization method also. First is boiling or heating at high temperatures. Let us talk it about how we have to do. What is by sterilization? The process is also called sterilization, means nothing but boiling at high temperature can kill the bacteria but cannot kill the spores. Understand children? The higher temperature at 110 degrees at higher pressure cooker can even kill the spores also. This can be achieved in the autoclave or in the pressure cookers. In order to kill the spores, we have to boil the food in the pressure cookers. Usually these methods are employed in the industries before packing and sealing food in order to kill the bacteria. Okay, and here salting. Next method is that salting is a traditional method and common method used to preserve the food for longer time of duration. For example, foods like fish, pickles are commonly preserved through this method. Salting prevents biodegradation of food under normal conditions. So what is the use of the salting? Means it prevents the biodegradation of food materials. Treatment with the salt for preservation purpose is called curing. What do we call is curing? Okay. Next method is dehydration. Usually microorganisms grow in hydration or under moisture conditions, as I said you just now. Okay, they cannot grow without water, so hence dehydration or drying cannot grow the microbes in the food. So in order to prevent that, there is an effective method called drying which can preserve. This is employed for grains, meat as well as fish and vegetables etc., where they have to keep it in the dry condition. Even dried milk also powder is also an excellent example for preservation of it by dehydration. Next one is irradiation. So irradiation is the employing of ultraviolet radiation in the process of sterilization of certain foods. Okay, and next in this process what they'll do, the food themselves do not acquire radiations. This process can also used to kill the mold spores in the bakeries. Got it clear children? They'll be used. Next method is pasteurization. What is my pasteurization? Is nothing but partial sterilization, which is usually applied to milk. Here what will happen in this process, the milk is heated at a high temperature of 60 degrees for 30 minutes and made it to cool quickly. Why in this process can kill major quantity of microorganisms, but the drawback of this process is that it cannot be sterilized completely and can only done by partially, means it can be done partially. Once pasteurized milk should be kept under cool condition, and thus only the multiplication of microorganisms, that is bacteria, can be prevented. Next method is refrigeration. Most of us know we use refrigeration methods. What does it mean? We have to store it in the refrigerator. Storing the food items or vegetables under the cold conditions is said to be an refrigeration. Because of any bacteria or molds do not grow or do not multiply at low freezing point of water. That is the reason we are freezing them in the refrigerators. Hence, like milk, fruits and vegetables in cold storage does not spoil only. Why? Because this will prevent from the microorganisms. Even frozen fish, also frozen vegetables stay fresh for long time. The domestic refrigerator at home cools 0 to 5 degrees centigrades and for short time shortage. The deep freezing cools at -20 to -30 degrees Celsius and for long term shortage. Next one is that strong concentration and chemicals. By using the high chemicals, addition of ingredients in the strong conditions, concentration or addition of chemicals to the food items can prevent the spoilage of food also. So for example, here one of the example is that jams have stronger concentration of, jams contains high concentration of salt, sugars. Okay, pickles have high concentration of salts. This will prevent the growth of microorganisms. Thus the increased concentration of solute cause plasmolysis and death of any bacteria or molds, fungus etc., which can be prevented the growth of microorganisms. The chemical sodium benzoate is also added to the food which are packed in the tins and also in the squashes. Here the spoilage of food is prevented in this case. So we got it clearly. Now let us talk about nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is an important essential element. We know all those for all the living organisms for the synthesis of ammonia and enzyme etc. So how it will happen, let us talk about in detail. What happens if there is no nitrogen at all? What will happen in this case if there is no? Root systems and plants are stunted, means they do not grow only. Older leaves turns yellow, it will start falling down and there is a decrease in the crop productions also. Soil microorganisms life becomes dangerous. There is a no growth of microorganisms. What is the percentage of nitrogen in the atmosphere? Very good. It contains 78%. So here there is a circulation of nitrogen from where? from the atmosphere, that is physical or abiotic components, to the soil, biotic components, and back to the atmosphere. From the soil it is to coming to the atmosphere is known as nitrogen cycle. Let us learn about it clearly, how it happens, what takes place in these steps. First method is that nitrogen fixation, and the second one is nitrogen assimilation will takes place. Ammonification, there are the different steps which happens in the nitrogen cycles. What are those, children? Nitrogen fixation, assimilation of nitrogen, ammonification, nitrification, etc. Now first we will talk about plants cannot utilize this atmospheric nitrogen, so it should be converted into an soluble forms, that is such as ammonia. So here this is been converted. First it is converted by a process known as nitrogen fixation. This is the first step of nitrogen cycle. What will happen? What is my nitrogen fixation? Means conversion of nitrogen into an ammonia for living organisms is known as nitrogen fixations. This process is carried out by leguminous plants such as groundnuts. Even some bacteria can fix atmospheric nitrogen also. Okay, so this process is called, for example, Azotobacter and Clostridium, Rhizobium, Nostoc and Anabaena. These are all the bacteria which helps in the nitrogen fixation. So got it clear, children? What is nitrogen fixation? Means conversion of nitrogen into an ammonia. So what will happen? Next method is nitrogen assimilation. The process of absorbing the nitrates and ammonia into an organic nitrogen is known as nitrogen assimilation. What is my nitrogen assimilation? Yes, it is a process of absorbing the nitrates and ammonia into an organic nitrogen is known as nitrogen assimilations. This organic nitrogen is transferred into the animal's body, and when plants are eaten by animals, plants generally herbivores eat the plants, this will be transported to the animals. Next what will happen? Ammonification will take place. This nitrogen is get converted into an organic nitrogen, is converted into ammonia when animals will die. This known as ammonifications. Generally when the animals will die, what will happen? The nitrogen, converting the nitrogen into an ammonia is known as ammonification. It is also known as mineralization also. This process was carried out by some saprophytes like fungi and bacteria. Got it clear, children? Ammonia is also produced from volcanic eruptions as well as excreted products of animals also. So in this process the ammonia will prepared. Next what will happen? The nitrification process will takes place. What will happen in this case? The bacteria which is involved in the nitrification bacteria is known as nitrifying bacteria. So here ammonia is first converted into an nitrates. The ammonia which is present here, it gets converted into an nitrates. For examples, Nitrococcus and Noctrosomonas are the bacteria helps in the converting of these nitrates into an nitrites to an nitrates. Next, denitrification will takes place. What is my denitrification? The nitrates are converted into a molecular nitrogen through the nitric oxide, known as denitrification. In order to maintain the equilibrium of nitrogen in the atmosphere, what will happen? It's again get converted into an oxygen nitrogen, that is nothing but nitrogen forms. Bacteria which are involved in the denitrifications are known as denitrifying bacteria. These bacteria are known as denitrifying bacteria. Examples are Thiobacillus denitrificans, Pseudomonas denitrificans and Micrococcus denitrificans. Got it clear, children? Now problems with the increase. What are the problems we will face with the increase of nitrogens? There will be acid rains as well as acidifying of soil and lakes will take place, and there is an increase in the death of plants also if there is a growth of high nitrogens. So let us recap what we have learned. We have discussed about the different types of microorganisms. Overall we had learned about what are the usefuls of microorganisms. We had discussed about what are the harmful effects of microorganisms and how to food to be preserved and what is nitrogen cycle. We have learned in this lesson. Thank you.